Welcome back to another Thursday Night Live here with the Jewish Platform. We are back from Colorado, and today we have the privilege to have an amazing guest, a guest that I personally have worked with a couple of times and had an amazing experience. We have the privilege to have today Shloimy Zaltzman. Shloimy, how you doing?
Baruch Hetzach.
Baruch Hashem.
What is a chus to be here?
For those that don't know, Shloimy Zaltzman is the youngest, probably, of the youngest. Shloimy Zaltzman is the founder of Zaltz Band. Zaltz Band was a given, right? I figured that out on my own.
Genius.
We must be related.
You'd be surprised how many people, they don't know the shaykhs because they look at my last name as Zaltzman, really it's Zaltzman. And I was thinking of changing my last name because it would bother me so much that people call me Shloimy Zaltzman. I'm from Europe, I have a Heimish name, Shloimy Zaltzman was Herzog. So I decided, Baruch Hashem, the band came before I decided to change my last name.
Alright, so now everybody knows Zaltzman, but it said
they still get it wrong, they say Zaltz Band or something like that. I'm like, but Chef and Emo, help me.
So the reason I said the youngest and the youngest, you are 25 years old, and that's pretty young to be the founder of a band, and because the band only started this past summer, which is about 5 months, 5 months, younger than Corona.
That's right.
That means with the 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
That's it.
All right.
Zaltz flattened the curve.
So I worked with you on an amazing production, the Moistus Cave Rochel virtual live stream. You did an amazing job, and we're going to show a clip of that shortly. But first, let's back up. You are from Manchester.
That's right.
You moved to Eretz Yisrael after you got married. Right now, you're in America. Now, neither of your parents live over here. What's a Mank doing in America, opening a band?
Well, it's
How'd you get here?
very long story. I noticed that, Baruch, you tend to have people, very inspiring people on your show, who have a story. They don't just come and say, I just did music, and Baruch Hashem, here I am today. You know, everyone has a past. I saw you had Shmili, and I have a similar past to Shmili. I don't know about a similar future, but
let's hope.
Let's hope, you never know. So when I was in yeshiva in Eretz Yisrael, before I was married and everything, I went to centers for a couple of years, and slowly, I think it made more sense to come home to work. When I came home, this was actually just before I came home, then, I'm trying to remember my train of thought. So basically, I completely
You were in centers, all right.
I was in centers.
You know something? I'm going to cut him off for 1 second.
I have ADHD.
When we were planning, while I was working on producing the Moistus Cave Rochel thingy,
yes.
I was talking to you before you got the nosebleed, right? And
Good story.
Yeah, good story. But anyway, I'm a little talking to you, and our conversation went all over the place. And you then said that artists have ADHD. That was your line.
There's no better way to start an interview than I started now. This is me. ADHD. I'm
glad that you remembered that we're in the middle of an interview.
Yeah, I meant Baruch Hashem. It's sometimes you don't want to think you're in an interview, you're just having a nice conversation. It reminds me of the Instagram lives. It's just like a FaceTime with 200 people watching. But so basically, I was saying was in 2016, what I was always into music. I'm not sure which way should I look at the camera.
Well, you can look at that camera. You can look at me. Kind of, yeah.
I mean, I'm very tempted to look at you. Such a hadrus punim. So the biggest chizuk for me and the biggest booster for me to join the music industry was an opportunity that I had. One Elul, 2016. I was sitting in the studio in Eretz Yisrael. I was working in a studio. I just rented the space. And I used to have this joke with a friend, this Moshe Tischler, I'm sure you've heard of him. He's a singer nowadays. We grew up together in yeshiva and everything, and we both basically remember each other when we weren't known. I used to have this joke, I always used to refresh my emails, because it's like exciting, you get a new email and everything. One evening, this was Aser Simet Shiva. I refreshed my email, and the title of the email says "Exciting Opportunity," or as they say in America, "Exciting Opportunity."
I get like 10 of those emails a day.
Yeah.
And it's usually
So I
for like
would-
tzedakah.
Yeah.
And which is a big opportunity, yes. But not what you mean. Yeah, carry on.
Exciting opportunity for this world.
Is it as exciting as the warranty on the car?
Oh yeah, so Moshe wants to know exciting. Yeah, I was gonna say that that's usually what it is, but all right, yeah.
Yeah.
When I refresh my email, I get about the car warranty is about to expire.
I got you. Okay, I get that on the phone calls.
Oh yeah.
I always think it's another gig coming in. I answer like, hello. And it was like, your extended warranty.
Hi, you've reached Shloimy Zaltzman from the Zaltz Band.
That's right.
How many beat? Yeah, all of a sudden.
Yeah, so I again with the ADHD, I'm not sure what I was saying. Oh yeah, exciting opportunity, and then we got to somehow all these RAZ, on the WhatsApp statuses, all the links to support my
Or
campaign.
the raise it, right.
The raise, that's what it's called.
Help me reach my goal.
That's it. Yeah.
That's what it is. Help me reach my goal.
I should do one, just to join the chevra.
We should open a raiser for the Jewish Platform.
I like that, man.
All right.
Refresh my email. Exciting opportunity. Okay, whatever. So I press it, and I see titled in the email, the Freilich Band. And I could read the email out to you, or I can just say I know the email off by heart, because it was such a chizuk for me at the time, and it really it taught me that I can be anything I want to be, just like the Shweki song. There was Avrami Schreiber. This was recently after the previous band lead had left, and Avrami he said, "Hi Shloimy, I heard great things about you, and I want to know if we can hop onto a phone call. I saw some videos. I'm really impressed. Let's talk."
And you were only 20 years old at the time.
2000. I was 21. 20.
20 years old.
Maybe. Oh, I just turned 21 then, because my birthday's in Elul.
So you were like legally allowed to buy alcohol at the time. Okay,
That's
but
right,
still
yeah.
very young.
Very young. Very young. I'm still very young, and I always want to stay young. I never want to grow old. I'm 25 years young. And I hopped onto a phone call quickly with him. I was so excited, so eager. What's he got to say? Maybe I can be a helper for the band and schlep some speakers. I'm kidding. He said, "Shloimy, I saw some great videos of you. At this moment, we're looking for a band leader. I'm thinking of maybe bringing you into America." And this is like every child's dream, every young guy, bucher, anything, And, I asked my Rebbeim, it didn't make sense at the time. It made sense for me to stay in, to either go back to work in the UK or stay in yeshiva. At the time, it didn't make sense to move to America at such a young age for me. And but that was such a change for me, and I don't think Avrami realized what a chizuk it was to me. Like, we always have this joke, I see him a lot in Muncie, and we always have this joke that we're meant to go out for a coffee, and he always promised me we're going to go out for a coffee. So past 3 years, every time, Shloimy, I still haven't forgotten about that coffee.
Maybe we'll call Rumi after the interview and we'll tell him.
Yeah.
If there's still 7-Eleven, I think is still open, or Shell gas
The
station.
problem is I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh.
So it's going to have to be an iced coffee with soya milk.
Yeah,
No? I just ruined the whole coffee vibe.
totally.
Well, we can have some tea and crumpets.
All right, I forgot you're a Manc.
Well, yeah, I lost my accent a bit, but when you remind me,
I
it
didn't
comes
know
back.
you could lose an accent. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize.
Listen, when in Rome, you dress like Rome. I'm in America, and all I hear is an American accent. So it's very,
So do you say tomatoes or tomatoes?
tomatoes. To my toes.
Oh, you still say tomatoes. So your Rebbe's told you.
You drive me up the wall with your music, and you'll never be successful.
Is that what your Rebbe's actually told you?
I'm sure if you ask them, they'll say, I never said that. But they all told me I make them crazy with my music, yeah.
Okay. Not very
Drumming
inspiring.
on the table.
But you're not a drummer. You're a pianist.
I'm a music producer, I'm an arranger, so I have to understand all instruments. Am I still mine?
Yeah. So okay, so you're in Center's Yeshiva right now. We got that email. Let me ask you, he reached out to you, which means that you were doing music up until then, right?
Yeah, I
You
was
were
actually
playing at bar
producing.
mitzvahs, at weddings, producing. What were you doing?
I wasn't doing many events. I was in Eretz Yisrael, so I was in yeshiva. It didn't make sense to do events, but I was doing a lot of music production, and I was actually doing my
When you
first
say
break.
music production,
Music.
what does that
I
mean?
know when I say the word production for you, then you think of big production in Terrace of Rome. I'm talking music production as
Making
an
album,
arrangement.
right.
I don't like to call it a music arranger. I don't know, it feels like a cheap word to me. I like to call it a music producer, a production. Actually, Mendy Hershkowitz taught me that I'm a producer as opposed to an arranger. You're basically producing the track. You're like, what part, you're arranging. I get it, you arrange things in order, but you're basically the music producer from A to Z.
So that means somebody would come to you with a song, say, and you would say, okay, we need a horn, we need a sax, we need a drum, we need this and that, and this guy should do that, and that guy should do this, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So you were doing that when you were still a bacher in Eretz Yisrael.
That's right.
Wow. That's really cool.
And I was actually doing it for an album that got really far, and that was Yederein and Meilech Cohen's album. I don't know how I got on that album. It started off with Gershi Schwartz and Sruli Lipschitz. And that's a whole story in itself. If you want to go into it, happy to go into it. If we can move forward if you like.
I want to hear more about Shloimy Zaltzman.
Sure.
So you were
Part
producing
of Shloimy
music.
Zaltzman is Gershi Schwartz.
Oh, Gershi's a great guy.
Gershi's a part of many people.
Also a Brit that came to America. It seems like when English people
There's
want to
another
make
one
it
coming,
big in
by
the
way.
music.
There's another big guy coming from.
Who's coming?
I'm not saying his name.
All right, maybe we'll interview him.
Yeah.
But it seems like the English fellows,
Yes.
when they want to make it big in the music industry, they move. Well, Gershi also lived in Eretz Yisrael, so they moved to Eretz Yisrael.
I never
and
lived
then
in Eretz
moved to.
Yisrael. I learned in Eretz Yisrael.
You learned there.
Yeah, that's it.
But they all come to America.
I have to cut you short for a second. Funniest story ever. I'm doing an event with Shulam Lema. Shulam's a very close friend. We've known each other for a long time.
But Shulam is not from England.
No.
Shulam's
That's
from
why.
Borough Park,
That's
right?
why I mean cut you off, because it's absolutely no shaykhs. Doing an event. This was a week before I got married, and we're busy playing. And he does always his song Piano Man. Sing us a song, you're
Right.
the piano man. And he likes to give a hachuna. He's like, okay, and tonight with us, it wouldn't have been such an amazing evening without our dear pianist. We have Shloimy Zaltzman. I've known Shloimy for so long. I learned with Shloimy in Eretz Yisrael. And I think Shulam by mistake must have forgotten some information, everything. I was like, Shulam, we didn't learn Eretz Yisrael together. He's like, Shloimy, go with the story. Like that. And I was like, okay, no problem. Schmooze with him after. He's like, Shloimy, I don't know what I was saying in the middle. That's what's amazing about Shulam. He's amazing. He's so spontaneous. He comes up with the best things.
Shulam's a great guy. Great guy.
He's not just a singer. He's not just someone who's broken all barriers of Jewish music. He is a awesome dude. What was that?
He's an entertainer.
Yeah, in every single way. He's a deep guy. Deep guy. He has a lot of depth.
Shulam's a great
His
person.
brother Yankee, all of them, all the lemmas.
So you were in Eretz Yisrael, a bacher, and sent his yeshiva steigen away. They were the original founders of Super Seder.
Yes.
Right, coming up next week.
Yes.
And then what happened?
So I made music in the studio, and I decided it's time to go home to the UK. I went home to work. I went home to find a shidduch. So I thought. And Mazel tov, I got engaged. And lo and behold, a very difficult time in my life. We got married, and I wasn't married anymore.
You got unmarried.
I got unmarried. The größte mitzvah in the Torah. To megarish your wife.
Well, this is machlokes, so
I'm
she
kidding.
burns the food if she right.
I'm joking. Relax. I mean, it's true. It's a mitzvah, but let's keep it positive over here. It doesn't hurt. The day I gave a get, Ali de Shliach, I moved to America. I was in London.
Why did you move to America?
I don't.
I'm not upset that you moved to America. I'm very happy. I just want to know.
I don't think the person who made me move to America even knows till this day. Something inspired it. I saw WhatsApp status. Naftali Schnitzler.
I was just in contact with him right before I came. Yeah.
Naftali Schnitzler. I saw his WhatsApp status, and it says, looking to hire a music producer full-time here at Schnitzler Studios. At the time it was called Schnitzler's, now it's called Time for Music. What's it called?
Yeah.
House of Music. Time for Music.
That's task, yeah.
Close, you know. They're both successful.
House of music, right?
House of music. A Häusen of music.
Häusen,
House.
Häusen.
Sorry, I just cracked myself up.
You like laughing at your own jokes. I like it.
Well, listen, you gotta keep yourself entertained. As an entertainer, I'm not just here to entertain you, I'm here to entertain myself.
Geweldig.
I need to get my composure again. So
your son of Tali Schnitzer status.
looking to hire a producer, whatever. Nothing ever became of it. I don't even think I was in touch with him about that. I was in touch with him at that time. I told one supper, one evening, this was right after I'd gotten divorced, I told my family, I'm moving to America. And everyone turned around to me, and everyone looked at me in a certain way. But my parents said to me, Shloimy, if that's what your destiny is meant to be, this is what your destiny is meant to be, and we'll support you in whatever you need to do. Are you still sure you want to move to America? And I was like, let me try it out. I go stay by Uncle Yechanan, my uncle, Rabbi Wozner from Monsey, who needs a refuah shlema, Shimon Yechanan and Rochel. And so was it. I contacted my uncle and I said, can I stay for a couple of weeks in America? I came to America and the rest is history. I loved it so much.
I'm not sure what it means the rest is history. That's taken off. I know recently you had twins, Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
That's like a lot from I moved to America and the rest is history. Sounds like I got my first gig in a band and the rest was history. So you moved to America.
Yeah.
No parents. You had one uncle, Uncle Yechanan.
Yeah.
Right?
Great
Lived in
uncle.
Monsey.
Great uncle. My grandmother's brother.
Right. That was very nice. You lived by him?
So sweet, him and his wife. That's it. He had no children at home. You know, he's actually marrying off one of his children next week in Mitzvah. So I have endless gratitude to them. And he was so supportive. And I was producing a song for Melech Kohn that didn't come out in the end. At that time, he would always used to make, because I used to be in the studio in the house. I used to make it in my room. He always used to jig around back then and copy Melech all day. But he was very part of my life. I appreciate it a lot, you know.
Right.
And he's still part of our lives.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So you moved to America. You're here. You're still producing music for Melech Kohn and whoever else. Did you come with the piano?
Now, Baruch Hashem, there's a wide my spectrum a lot.
Right, but I'm talking about back then. Did you come with a keyboard, piano, or just with like a laptop and GarageBand, or
Logic?
Logic right.
Is the
right.
mother of GarageBand. I came to America with no keyboard, with nothing. Gershi Schwartz opened his arms to me and he said, Shloimy, come work with me in the studio. Let's make music. Let's continue where we left off. And it was just a history of an Eretz Yisrael where we worked together and then we continued in America. And that lasted a while until I decided to go on my own. Because I just it was a small room, so it just made sense for him and for me to both. I would work in my own room back in my uncle's house, and then like 6 months later, when I was dating and everything, I decided. I didn't decide actually. I was in touch with Mendy Hershkowitz, and we decided to partner up. I decided to to join Sonic Duo, the team, the incredible team that make amazing music. And I was there for a year, and I was really, really happy there. I recently just moved. I just went on my own very recently, but I really had fond memories there in every single way.
With Sonic Duo.
Oh yeah, Sonic Duo was in this building.
You working with Mendy Hershkowitz.
Yeah.
All right, and now Mendy Hershkowitz is the leader of
The Mendy Hershkowitz Band.
So now
That was a no-brainer, just like Zaltz and Zaltzman.
Right.
No-brainer.
I'm doing a big event with him. It's coming up next week.
Excited.
I'll
stay tuned in.
Not an interview, like a real event.
I know.
Amazing. But anyway, carrying on, I'm assuming you got married at this time, right? Between coming to America and now, because I know that you had twins.
I have twins, so somehow I did manage to get married somewhere in between them.
Right, okay, well, glad to hear that. Baruch Hashem.
Yeah, no, Chazdei Hashem.
So now...
I married a triplet.
What?
I married a triplet.
You married a triplet and had a twin.
That's it. So then that means the next one's going to be a single.
Right. Like the opposite of trickle-down economics.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But it does run in the family, so we're expecting to have. We're not expecting, but we're expecting that we're gonna get more surprises sometime in the next 100 years or so.
So now, this past summer, you decided to do a bold move. There are a few bands in the film world. There are a lot of people that do some sort of one-man band with add-ons, right? On my keyboard, I could bring a drum, right? But you went ahead and you decided, no, you're going to go ahead, you're going to make a full band, right?
That's right, a full band.
A full band.
Yeah.
Right? Which means you're not going to go out there, do a one-man band, and all right, you want to bring a sax, you can bring a sax, you want to bring a clarinet, guitar, whoever you want.
Yeah.
You do the Zaltz arrangement, which is very bold. So let me ask you, I've seen you, you did a performance for me.
Yeah. Great experience.
It was amazing. Why don't we right now put up, basically what we did was, we did this, Moistus K. Rochel did a virtual event. I produced it, and here is a clip from that incredible event.
Yeah.
Thank you, Moshe, for putting up the clip over there. Again, Moshe Grunfeld, our producer, he's in charge of all the back-end tech stuff with all the buttons and putting everything. Yeah, I just talk. Moshe actually does all of the producing.
All the magic.
Yeah.
You're amazing yourself.
So that was an amazing event that we did together.
Yes, it was in October. It was literally like 3 weeks. 3 weeks after I became a family of 4.
Well, it was right. I remember that. Our first call was like right after you had the twins.
Yeah.
And it was actually on Rochel Mena's yard side.
That's
what a
right.
coincidence! I'm
That's
saying.
nice, eh?
This Moistus Cave of Rochel, it came out on
Rochel. Wow.
Right. You don't think it may have been planned, right?
Not at all.
No.
My sheds.
But anyway, so what happened is, you wrote the music. You write the music.
I wrote it in 3 days. I wrote like 20 chats in 3 days.
Right. So, and I was still confused.
I say that very proudly.
Yeah, you were up for like 2 nights straight. What's the difference between a melody and a medley? Because they're 2 different things.
I always used to call it melody. Confused. I always used to call a medley a melody. It shows you don't need any formal training to be a good musician. A melody is la 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 la. That's just a melody. And a medley is a compilation of different songs together, weaved beautifully together. I sound like Eshy for a second.
Yeah, exactly. So now, is medley a real word, or like
sure.
They just went ahead and like?
It's not a Jewish word. Relax.
So anyway, you went ahead. You opened the band.
Yes, Zaltz area.
Now you have what is the band composed of? There's a
rhythm section.
There's a core band.
Yes.
Right, and what is that?
That is usually it's a drummer, guitarist, and a keyboard player, and plenty of times a bass player. Depends if you're going more the Israeli style, or if you're going more the American style. So personally, I've always loved doing bass on my left hand. And
because you're the pianist,
it keeps it very in control.
Right.
Yeah, it keeps the band very in control. One less musician to think about. But it doesn't. I'm not saying that we're not gonna have a bass player in the near time future, but guess that was a hint.
Right.
But, you know, Bezrat Hashem, all at the right time. So it's a drummer, guitarist, keyboard player. Usually the keyboard player is the band leader. Sometimes the guitarist is. I've even heard of a drummer being the band leader. But it's usually mainly the keyboard player and sometimes in different scenarios a guitarist. So I have an Israeli incredible drummer. His name's Eran Fink from Petach Tikva. I got to know him through Chesky, my manager.
Chesky Herzog,
yeah,
right?
we'll talk about him soon. My guitarist, his name is Richie Nobrega. He's an incredible guitarist and he brings incredible positivity and great musicianship to the band.
All right, so now, so that's your core. Now,
Yeah.
I have a clip over here with you playing with a much larger band than just your three people.
Yeah.
I mean, when we did our thing, we had, I think, a 6-man band, but...
6 plus Zamiris.
Right,
Yeah.
but the band
Yeah,
itself...
the band itself, sorry.
So now, here is a clip of you playing with a much larger band. Moshe, could you please put up that clip of the band? So now, we just watched the clip, beautiful thingy in Lakewood.
That's right.
So now, how does that work with add-ons, with...
Yeah, an industry standard musician. So it's always based off the client, but it happens to be Zaltz does. We make sure we have a full horn section by every event. So there's the core, there's the rhythm sections, drums, guitars, and keyboards, and then we have a horn section or we have strings. A lot of times we do a lot of strings as well because Baruch Hashem we have a lot of arrangements written up for strings, and Zaltz is more of a high corporate band, you know, as opposed to, you know, backyard kind of a two-piece band, if you know what I mean.
Right. So you'll do a big wedding, a big event.
As many pieces as the client wants.
Right.
Anything he wants, we'll do.
So the way it works is you go ahead, they'll say, let's say, I want a band. And you'll say, okay, so what do you want in the band? And they'll say, well...
So we have packages.
All right.
So we have packages, we have a few standard packages and everything, and 6-piece, 10-piece, which means 4 strings, a quartet. We have 12-piece, 6 strings. We can swap it around to have more horns. It's different combinations, and Baruch Hashem, clients are really happy with the customer service and making sure that they have an amazing experience with us.
So now let me back up.
Yes.
Not back up. Let's move ahead.
That's
I have friends, I know people, or somebody out there, an aspiring musician. He plays guitar. Now, I know you don't need somebody that plays regular acoustic guitars. You need a lead guitarist.
Electronic
Guitar, right?
Yeah, sure.
Which, let me ask you...
We do acoustic guitars as well.
Right,
Sure.
but usually for the band you have an electric guitar. What's his name again?
Richie Nobrega.
Right,
Junior.
Richie right.
I don't know why Junior, I'm assuming because his father is also Richie Nobrega.
But let me ask you, in the Yiddish world, I
Yes.
mean, many bands have Yiddish musicians. Now, your drummer's a Yid.
Yes.
You're Jewish, I mean,
Yeah. A lot of the horn players are Jewish. Strings, not so much, but yeah.
This guitarist of yours
Yes.
is not Jewish.
That's right.
How did you get a hold of him? Why did you pick him? What's up with the guitarist?
So to start, first of all, there's a big deficiency in the Jewish world. There's not enough guitarists, and there actually is plenty of guitarists, but they're all taken for the one-man band world, which I completely get and completely understand. They don't usually like to commit to a band. A lot of them are working freelance.
Right, well, there's a big difference between a Kumsitz guitarist that's playing strumming an acoustic tune
sure.
to somebody that's playing
Chasnas,
electric guitar.
someone
Right.
with Berko, someone with Stendig, someone with Shimi Levy, you know. Sorry to all the one-man bands I didn't mention. I just can't think of everyone, but I support all of you and everything you do. I love the standards Jewish music has today. It's incredible in every single way, and it's not just interview talk, it's genuine. So I love the guitarist, don't like to commit to a band, which is very understandable. So it made me look a little bit outside the world. to find someone who fits my style, and I really connected with what I saw with Richie, and I could picture a little kick to the band, something interesting, something different, something Jewish music hasn't seen yet, as opposed to just recycling, in the kitchen, this little chulin, bit of kegel, take him, take that, all the different members in the Jewish world. I decided, let's bring Nai Chevra and let's start a new product,
Right. So now you have a bacher or a young man, a young guy, he plays an instrument, he plays really well, and he wants to join a band, your band. How does that work? Does he have to get an agent? Does he have to open an Instagram account? Does he reach out to you? Hi, I play flute. Here's your phone, whatever. How does that go about? How do you hire? How do people get into the industry? And this is something that's probably very informative. There are many people that play violin, flute, clarinet is very popular, sax, maybe trumpet, drummers, many.
Yeah.
How does somebody break into the industry if they're not bold enough to go ahead and open their own band?
In fact, I believe most of the people who are going to watch this interview is going to be musicians and music lovers. When I get stopped in the street for either a photo or hi, I love your music and everything, I guarantee the guy plays an instrument or he's extremely obsessed with music in a good way. It's never like, oh my gosh, I am I'm a plumber, and I just love Shloimy Zaltzman. You gotta really be into music to know me.
Some plumbers do make good music with their plunger. That. I'm saying it's a different kind of.
Well, if you would have perfect pitch, then you'd be able to hear the notes the plumber's playing.
Right.
1 in 10,000 people are absolute pitch. I've met one person and another person claims he is. I did it over messaging. I was like, okay, I'll play a chord, tell me what it is, and like 10 minutes later he sends me what it is. So I don't know if I want to believe him or not, but it takes a lot for me to believe that you're absolute pitch and you can be able to hear A flat, ooh, like different things. It's
What's the exact opposite of perfect pitch?
perfectly flat.
I'm trying to figure out what I am. Anyway.
You're perfect. Pitch, no
Aww.
pitch, alles. You're perfect the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it. Talking of perfection.
So we were in the middle of talking about somebody wants to join a band.
Yeah.
The audience members are holding on tight. Yeah.
Well,
We're talking about a plumber.
That's exactly what happens when you have two creative people having an interview together. It is going to flow and weave into different ways. Now, you're walking down the street, you see a quick alleyway, you pop in there, you move to this store, and you go down this street, then to this highway.
What was in that alley? Burial. Yeah.
Get high in the boy.
Get high in the burial.
Even the boy goes Friday afternoon shopping. You see that one?
No.
Oh, I love it. I'm a little slow when it comes to these stuff. I only found out the Boy Island movement a few weeks ago, and I've been addicted to it. It happened like a year ago, but it's amazing. Little did that guy know. He's gonna say, I get high in the Boy Island, and it changed people's lives forever. So you're talking about what can a musician do, an aspiring musician? Well, I've got some good news for you. The most important thing is, and it's the most cliche answer ever, and you're going to cringe when you hear this, but the fact is, siyata d'shmaya. The most important thing, you can be the most incredible musician and sit at home and never work, ever. Never have events, never be picked up by anybody, never join a band, nothing. And you can be a very decent musician and actually be working a few times a month, every week. You can be really having, music productions, live events and everything. What's really important is to get your content out there into the world. I know a lot of people who will be watching this interview, Masrabi won't have Instagram, kudos to you. And kudos to everyone who has Instagram, kudos to Ali. So it's important to get content out. Don't underestimate your videos. If you play nicely, make a video, iPhone, on a little stand, a video of you playing guitar, playing bass, playing the flute, playing the saxophone. Open up a page, whether it's YouTube, whether it's WhatsApp status, whether it's emails, send everyone, just make sure that you're active and you're making sure people see your content and people seeing, that you're a musician, A lot of times people expect for the opportunity to come to you. but it's important to know that it's never the best time. It's never always going to be right, and it's never going to feel right. You have to move forward to your dreams as opposed to hoping your dreams will come to you. You know?
Now, I'm going to ask a slightly touchy question over
Sure.
here. How does somebody know if they're a good musician? I'm saying everybody thinks that they're a good musician.
Yeah.
What's the test? How does that... How do you know if you're a good musician?
Maybe I'm still in denial, you know. Maybe I don't know how to play a song. I don't know. But I think...
How does somebody know I'm good enough?
It's called self-honesty. It's very hard to be objective about yourself and see the honest, you know, it's important to hear, you know, a second opinion, a third opinion about yourself and your talent and everything, but it's self-honesty. You have to be very real with yourself, you know, and it's easy, you know, sometimes even Shloimy Zaltzman feels garbage, and sometimes even I feel like I'm not good enough, and I don't make the cut, you know, I'm not going to be successful. It's a very real feeling that every musician goes through, and that's if he's honest with himself, you know. But of course we try to bring the positive thoughts in and drive that away.
Shmuel Younger, when he was here,
Yeah.
He spoke about listening over, he said his first wedding that he did, he sang and he listened to the recording and he thought it was horrible, and he worked on all of his points. And I think that that's a great thing. Again, I'm not a musician.
Be self-honest, and
I
that's
do
why
watch my interviews at times and try to think.
Do you listen to your own voice notes?
It depends.
That's a touchy question.
Depends. At times.
I sometimes I like to hear how I sound to someone, you know.
Right.
I do it as well when I send someone a song, let's say a production. I send it to him. He's like, okay, listening now. I hit the listening now as well to go live with him, you know.
All the time. All the time.
I caught a friend doing.
Do it all the time.
I caught a friend doing it once. He was like, Shloimy, what do you think of this track? I was like, I'm listening now. When I finished it, boom, so you just finished listening to it as well? And he's like, Shloimy, how did you know? I was like, because we all do the same stuff. And you'll be surprised that most human beings have certain commonalities between each other. I don't know if that's a word. But we're all very similar. We're all humans. We all have feelings. We all have a heart. We all have emotions. So, you know, I think what you said about Shmili, like listening back and everything and reflecting, is most probably the secret why he is who he is today and why there are some really successful people out there. It's because of the honesty, you know, and I'm proud to say that I think I'm honest with myself. I have my ears open. I know what the street's saying about me, my band, my productions and everything. And I'm always on the up and always trying to grow to make sure that I can be the best who I can be, you know?
That's amazing. All right. Quick summary. You said an inspiring. Well, first of all, that was an amazing story that you came to America because of Naftali Schnitzler's
It was
status.
not because of it. It happened. It popped a thought in my mind. Let's do this.
You moved
He
here.
doesn't know that. He doesn't know that happened. But you know,
No, he
I'll
knows.
find out now.
when he finds out, he's going to say, "Oh shoot, Shloimy Zaltzman came because of me, but Chef and him." Well, he won't be able to get out of his house now.
And then you said for aspiring musicians out there,
Yeah.
they should try to get content out, right? Make a video, upload to YouTube, upload to Instagram, send it on WhatsApp. It's such an easy thing today's days. You have a clip, status it, right? Whatever it is.
My famous, sorry for cutting you a second. My famous motto I love to share with everyone is progress over perfection. It's very easy to get stuck in the world of perfection. Is this good enough? Is this There's a limit, you know. It's to a point, you know, most artists are OCD perfectionists, and I'm sure so many people can resonate when they hear me saying this. Like, oh my gosh, I'm also a perfectionist. I'm so hard on myself. And that leads me to saying that 2 days ago I released the first of a series called Imperfect, and it's a deep sleep piano that you can put your kids to sleep, you can awaken your own self, which maybe you can do with it now.
Right, just don't listen to it while you're driving.
Yeah, because you listen on the way while you're driving.
Right, and I need a new car. Is that the tow truck outside?
So the main point, it was inspired mainly because of what a perfectionist I am and how it's so hard for me to put out content. So it's so important, progress over content. You make sure it's beautiful, it's lovely, it's nice, you have your second opinion to give you validation, and you move forward. It's really important, and I'm actually trying to be machazek myself in that area. It's a big movement I'm working on now. It's progress over perfection.
Perfect. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to get back, and we're going to hear more about Shloimy Zaltzman and about the Zaltz Band. We will be right back. Welcome back. Now, Shloimy,
Yes.
you've been all over the place. I mean, Kanai Hara, you've performed both with Zaltz and before Zaltz.
Yeah.
You had many different gigs in the producing industry and while playing. What was your biggest event that you've played at?
I participated in.
That you've
It was January
Well,
1st
not just participated in. I've participated in some really big play that.
I know. I was because the reason why I said participating because it wasn't Zaltz itself. It was I was part of a band. It was actually the CMI Shas in MetLife Stadium. I had the zechus of being the keyboard player. If you saw the Mishpacha interview a few weeks ago,
Right.
she said that it starts off the keyboard player huddled in his coat and everything. It wasn't my words, but I was like, sounds great. Enjoy.
We
Knock
were all
yourself
huddled
out.
in our coats.
We were all huddled in the coats. I was pretty prepared. I had biker gloves with warmers inside, and my wife came in the middle to give me socks. I met with her upstairs somewhere, and she gave me an extra pair of socks. Baruch Hashem.
Okay, so now, how'd you get that gig playing at the St. Mashas?
Amazing story. Amazing story that will give you the chills. Yeah, you want to head?
Right, I'm gonna go get my biker gloves before I get the chills.
That's right. Cold winter's day, I'm wearing my boots, but I'm hiding under here so you don't see. When I got married in September. The Sima Shas was in January, so we're talking 3-4 months, yeah? Since I got married, my wife every week would remind me, Shloimy, can we get tickets for the Sima Shas? I really want to go to the Sima Shas. She went to the last Sima Shas. I had never heard of the Sima Shas before.
They don't do it in England?
I don't know. England's a shtetl compared to America, you know.
Right.
But they're moving forward in many things. But I didn't have a Sima Shas then. I had heard of it, but I never really pictured myself going to a Sima Shas, you know, unless I'd finished Shas myself or something like that. Which I haven't finished Shas, so I haven't even started finishing it. And so. Every week my wife would remind me, and as it neared, like we're talking like a month before the Sima Shas, she's like, Shloimy, like can I go? Can we get tickets? Can I call? Can I do something? I went to last Sima Shas. Means so much to me. I sat down by the couch and I said, with all due respect, my dear wife, I said, it's a little uncomfortable that my wife wants to go to the Sima Shas, yet the husband doesn't want to go. It's usually the other way. The husband's the guy who's, you know, and everything. I don't feel comfortable going. I don't know, like I don't see a shaykhs to myself there. You know, if we want to go for, you know, for a siyam on haluch or something, I've learned plenty different things, but I haven't finished shas or anything. So she got the point. It's not negaya. Like she was really respectful about it, and it was amazing. She was amazing about it. 2 weeks before, get a phone call from Shloimy Dax saying, Shloimy, siyam shas is happening in 2 weeks. Been speaking to the musicians and everything. Chaim Bakshin's been pushing me as well to have you on the band. I'd like to give you the zechus of being the band, of being the keyboard player of the Siyam Shas. I was like, no way. I said to him, Shloimy, I have a little chutzpah question for you. I need first class tickets for my wife. she's been pushing me for a few months, you know. And he's like, consider it done.
Wow.
Within a few days, in the mail, first class tickets. I don't know what box seats. I don't know what you call it in a stadium. To the CMS Shas, and I was the keyboard player of the CMS Shas, and you know, Bischus Shalom Bayis, my wife stood down and she was okay. She understood it was uncomfortable for me, and I didn't realize how much it meant to her. Only after the CMS Shas did I realize how much it meant to her, because she told me all about that. She told me everything about her going to the CMS Shas last time, and I didn't even realize she had gone, and I didn't realize all the pieces to the puzzle. It was a family event. Every 7 years they went. And she was willing just to not go because her husband wasn't comfortable, and because of that, she got the best tickets in the house, where, you know, all the Rebbitzins go.
So that was your biggest event. I'm just going to ask you. Obviously, it was your biggest event. Nobody gets to play a bigger event than the CMS. What are the odds that your wife kind of went behind your back and called either Shloimy Dax or whoever else and asked them to get you the job?
I can.
Are
you that guy who makes everyone doubt that 9/11 wasn't the Muslims and it was the Americans themselves?
I'm also a flat earther. I believe that Earth is flat.
Nice. Okay.
Moshe, sorry to bust your bubble. No.
So, yeah. And you're also the one who says Joe Biden is substituting Trump for the next few weeks and then he's coming back. Anyway,
that's true.
I know. I actually saw a quote recently. Someone said to me, "Who else feels that Joe Biden is just a really bad substitute coming in for Trump, who's taking a vacation now?" So yeah, what can I say? It could well be. I'm not gonna lie. When I go home now, I'm gonna ask.
You're gonna ask your wife
because it could have been.
That she called up. All right. Yeah. If yes,
then, you know what? If that was the case, I have a few other phone calls she needs to make.
Where do you want to play next? At Biden's inauguration, it already happened.
Sure, yeah. Next.
Here's a question, though.
Yeah.
Next CMS Shas is supposed to be in July. It's supposed to be in the summer.
Ooh.
But if you ever play at a really cold event again, would you wear the Bernie Sanders mittens?
I came up with it before Bernie Sanders came up with it.
But you can't play with mittens.
That's why I had bikers gloves.
Oh, because you get bikers mittens.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
That's it. Now we know that the music industry.
Is this the meme? Yeah, like that.
No, it's like this.
Oh, interesting. Like that.
Yeah, Moshe, it's like this.
Why is that? Have I got a mask on me? I'll put it on.
Right. Yeah. But you also have to look old and angry.
Old and angry is not so hard.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Now let me ask you, Shloimy, the music industry is full of surprises. We hired you to do the Moises Kever. Well, the CMS Shas hired you just 2 weeks before, and we hired you about 2 weeks before the Moises Kever.
2 weeks before? 5 days before.
Moises Kever, oh right, yeah, 5 days. Come to think of it, you're right, 5 days before.
Don't ever do that to me again.
You wrote for 2 nights writing a resume.
White hairs over here.
That was...
Meisters Kever Rochel.
But you did a fabulous job nonetheless.
Honestly, I stayed up 3 nights straight just writing, and I hope it sounded good.
It sounded amazing. So here's my question.
Yeah.
Give me a real surprising story that just like that, a surprising story.
So, interesting, an incredible story comes to mind. I wouldn't count myself in the music industry at that time, like publicly, but I was definitely behind the scenes. And I was with one of my closest friends, Avi Fogel, and we used to go to the Waldorf Astoria together. And we would...
The one in Yerushalayim.
That's it, yeah. For all those Bachram in Yerushalayim, they've got great computers there, filtered, and you can keep up with the music industry there. You can watch your amazing
Jewish
platform. That's it, yeah. So if you go in there tomorrow, then say hello to the bar guy and the pianist over there. I used to schmooze with him the whole time. And someone told me in the hotel, by the way, Avram Fried's performing downstairs. I was like, no way! Avram, a buddy. I'm kidding, I didn't have a clue who he was then. He didn't know me. So I went downstairs, I popped my head into the room, big function room, whole room. It was a Chabad event. It looked amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've just arrived at basically a concert of Avram Fried for free. I did not look the part at all. I had my sweater on, my jumper, as we say in England. I had my jacket. I looked very
You look casual.
unzaltz.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the tie I wear for every event, so I had to come with it, It's actually my chasna tie as well, believe it or not. And I always tell, this is part of the ADHD, I'm coming right back to the story. I always tell, people ask me, so why does Zaltz have white ties? What's Beshat? You think you're the Chusen? I said, I'm telling you, one day, Chusen's not going to have his white tie. I have 20 spare white ties for him. I've got you covered, man. That's the main. We care so much about customer services that even the ties we think about the Chusen.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
That is back to the Waldorf Astoria, many thousands of miles away, and I'm standing on the side there, sit really out of place, but I can't leave. I have to stay.
Right.
And Avremel says, pianist, give me E minor. Let's do Tanya. So he starts E minor, and I'm just listening, excited, ready to hit Tanya from the Rebbe lane. Not exactly the Rebbe, but Avremel, mind the pun. So he starts E minor. By the second chord, I realized the pianist does not know the song. It was more of I don't know, how do you call it, from the kibbutzim, those kind of musicians, Mizrahi kind of musicians, so
right.
They didn't know Tanya, they know everything else, and I'm like, I feel so bad, and I'm having a hard time listening to this guy doesn't know the song, so I quickly give him some eye contact. Something, maybe can I take over? He looks at me like, just continues with all the chords and everything. I was like,
totally
I'm not gonna push. I'm here of your service. I'm not gonna push. So it continues. They push through the song. Avram Fried as well realized that something was a little off. I don't even know if Avram will remember the story, but came to the next song. It was Sorry Adarabba, I think. It starts Adarabba. By the second chord, I realized the guy doesn't know this song either. If you don't know Tanya, you don't know Adarab. It's like a father and mother,
right.
It's a shidduch. I look at him again, I give him the look, and I'm like, maybe Epis Takagrad or something, Moish, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
So, he decides, the band. I get on this.
So you took over the keyboard.
I guess I have to show you the video. You ready? You want to play the video?
That's what, Moshe, are you ready? You have it?
Yeah.
The video? Alright, let's put it on. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Took
And you
over
were a
for the-
Bocher at the time.
That's it. I was maybe 19 years old.
And you went to use the computer at the Waldorf Astoria.
Yeah.
And
Filtered computer.
filtered
Very
computer.
filtered. Yes.
And you went ahead, you played for...
I did not realize that
Fried.
night I was going to be running the band for who knows how long. Like, my friend Abby will remember the story. It was definitely something very exciting.
So you played from then till the end
of the event.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
That was a good.
I want to know, did you
20,
get
30
paid at least as the band leader?
I got the best payment ever. I got Avram Fried on my resume.
Wow.
I went up to him. He actually went up to me after, and he said, "Great job, great job. What's your name?" I was like, "Shloimy Zaltzman. I sent you an email recently of one of my songs. Oh, I must check it out." And Hashem, he even responded to me. It wasn't for him, but I'm used to those. All right. Yeah, that's the story of the Waldorf Astoria. I haven't thought about the story. Siyata Shema, that just came to my mind.
Wow. That's an amazing story. And sometimes I'm doing an interview over here, and our producer, Moshe Grunfeld, gives me those eyes like, Baruch, you don't know what you're talking about. Could I take over? But
So
I've
you
never yet...
You resonate with me.
I resonate with the kibbutz pianist that was playing then.
I felt so bad.
I never let Moshe take over for me.
He would be great.
He would be great.
there is
We
no
should
one
really
like
get
you,
Moshe
Boruch.
his own show. I mean,
Moshe.
his own show.
We
His
just
own
we
shoes.
just figured out before this interview, Moshe's a common cousin of mine.
Right.
He's like second cousins with my first cousin, second cousin, surely. Like,
Something. But he's not British.
no, so he hasn't quite made it yet, but he's close.
Moving on over here, in the music industry, both with Zaltz and before Zaltz, either when you're producing music with Gershie Schwartz or with Mendy Hershkowitz with Sonic Duo, you got to work with everybody in the music industry.
I wouldn't say everybody,
A
but
lot of
like
big people.
some of the Baruch Hashem, some of the biggest names today, and it's no joke. It's a humbling experience. I feel like I'm nobody next to them, and it's like wow. what is this?
Give me some of your inspiring stories or inspiring singers that you've dealt with, a song that touched you, something.
It's interesting you're saying that. I got to know someone who I call my mentor, someone, and it hasn't changed. I became very close with Yossi Green, the one and only, talking of Tanya and other Rabbi, you know. The Baal Mechaber of these songs. I got to know Yossi through a mutual friend of ours, Zechet Tzadik L'Kodesh Debracha, Madchazet Broya. He was a very close friend of mine. We grew up in Manchester together. He was a few years older than me, and he passed away 2 years ago, 2 years and 2 months ago, November 15, 2018. I remember the day. It was snowing, a lot of snow. I got to know Yossi through that. Yossi, another incredible story, how we got to know each other through this. I got to know Yossi through Yoli Polachik. Yoli Polachik introduced Yossi Green to me. He told Yossi, you have to meet this musician, up and coming, guy from England, just moved to America. Have you got any opportunities for him? And we were discussing different projects. One day I got a phone call from Yossi. Shloimy, how you doing? I was like, Rabbi Yossi, I always start, I feel this way every time he calls me. Rabbi Yossi, what gives me the zechus of your phone call?
Wow.
I genuinely say this, you can ask Yossi himself. And I would never call him Yossi, you know, because, like, I'm Shloimy Zaltzman, this is Yossi Green. I don't put that in the same sentence. You know, I know every year's a fire. But
Yossi is like...
Yossi is one of the gedolim in Jewish music
And he inspires many. It's not just like he's talented. He really...
changed so many people's lives. He gave me such chizuk, that man. I have no words. So Yossi calls me up, Shloimy, I have to tell you, I have an amazing opportunity for you. I'm like, bring it on, man. He's like, Shloimy, Madchazet Broya came to me when he was engaged. He was recently diagnosed with Yena Macha when he was engaged. Madchazet was married for 5 years and passed away. Came to my house. We had a kumzitz with the Yedidim. I don't think it's not the Yedidim choir, Yedidim from Monroe. They help a lot with all the cholim and everything. Right. I'm sure you've heard of them.
Of course.
Chaim Eskowitz, a few other names I don't remember, it's been a while, but all of them I know amazing by face. I'm not so good with names, but I'll remember face from 20 years ago. And he said that Madchazev came to me, and Madchazev put me on the spot. This was 9 o'clock in the evening, whatever time it was. He says, Yossi, make me a miyadeh and a mi bansiach for my chuppah. There wasn't a dry eye in the room, because everyone was thinking, Madchazev thinks he's getting a miyadeh and a mi bansiach for his chuppah. Who says he's going to make it to his chuppah?
Wow.
And this was his Kala was on the phone. His Kala was from Switzerland, so this was 6 a.m. for her, and it was late at night in America. Yossi turned around to Madchazev, challenge taken. There and then he wrote Miyadeh. I'm not sure if Mi Bansiach was written as well there, in all honesty, but Miyadeh was written. The most beautiful Miyadeh I've ever heard of.
Wow.
And this song, Madchazev walked down under his chuppah too. You know, I get the chills as I'm saying it, tears coming to my eyes, you know.
Wow.
Shloimy, Madchazev's not doing well. This is still in a conversation with Yossi on the phone in the summer 2018, as I was in Monsey. And he says, Madchazev's not doing well. I have to keep to my promise. I promised Madchazev I'm going to produce these 2 songs and make them public. Or whether make them public, have it produced on a CD for him. Yiddish Nachas, there was never room, it was never quite the right song to have it on and everything. Has to happen now. And what are the chances you, Shloimy Zaltzman, from Manchester? And what is Mi Bansiach about? What is Miyadeh about? Husband and wife. I'd recently gotten divorced. I've been through so much pain the pain of a divorce is very painful, it's a very vulnerable situation. I moved to America with no direction, not sure what was going to go on and everything. And now Yossi Green's calling me up to produce a song called Mi Hadea Mi Bon Siach. The connection just felt like it was going right at me, and I need to get my old phone to show you the voice notes of Yossi saying like it gives me the chills as well, how HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided that you should be the one to produce the music. And that's how we got to know each other. We became very close. We've gone out together to restaurants. I've been to him for Shabbos, Yossi. I've been late nights, through the nighters together. And Yossi's really been a big impact on my life.
Yossi has a big impact on
many.
Yeah, many lives.
Yeah, so.
We're gonna kind of get to wrapping this up.
Sure.
Let me ask you, it was great advice throughout. You said aspiring musicians go out there, make music, don't be intimidated. Avrami Schreiber is the one that he gave you the confidence.
Sure. One of the people
that gave you the confidence. Gershi Schwartz helped you a lot when you came to America. Gershi Schwartz helped you the most. Now, one thing of inspiration.
I have to add in one comment. Sruli Lipschitz, I got to know Gershi Schwartz with Sruli, so Sruli really brought me to the place I needed to be, and I have a karasatov, endless karasatov to him, and still in touch with Sruli, and actually I repaid in a small way what he did. You'll find out.
All right.
For something very nice, I put it.
When and how are we going to find out?
I don't know if it's confidential. I sold a song for him to a big singer. I don't take full credit. I only sent it in, but and he's Baruch Hashem over the hills, as they say, with selling it. So I'm really happy.
Perfect. Aspiring musicians out there, right? You went through your bumpy road, and Baruch Hashem,
still ups and downs.
It's always ups and downs. You have a young aspiring musician or musician. Before we end this interview, give us some inspiration for that aspiring musician.
What am I to tell you? It's an up and down road for me. As they say, life is like an elevator. You're either going up or you're going down. And there's some people that climb on the stairs that don't work, or the opposite and everything. It's usually me. But coming into the music industry is a very vulnerable thing. It's not easy. It's subjected to judgment. People like looking out, is this guy good, not good, and everything. And it's not easy. But the most important thing is to daven to the Bashefa for guidance. Hashem, help me, give me a breakthrough. I'm still waiting for my breakthrough. Every step I go, I'm waiting for a bigger breakthrough, for something more to grow and everything. We all haven't arrived where we want to be, but it's okay. It's okay to progress over perfection. Make sure you're moving forward. You're moving forward in your craft. You're connecting with people. As I say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And if I can leave with a final word to in this interview to musicians, it's never give up, and you never realize, you may not feel that you are the talent, you are the guy, but you don't know what Hashem has in store for you. I know Baruch Hashem, over the years of being in the music industry, I've gotten to know people before and after, before they were famous and now famous with many millions of views on YouTube and many millions of, not millions, but, thousands of fans and followers and everything. And they didn't imagine either they'll make it. They didn't imagine, and a certain person comes to mind. Mordechai Shapiro. You heard of Mordechai Shapiro? He was a one-man band. Are you kidding me?
Of course.
He was a one-man band maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago in Eretz Yisrael and everything. And I got to know him by his first album, Kol HaDerech, before the video of Schar Mitzvah came out and everything. And we've kept in touch since. He's a really sweet guy. He must probably never imagined, but who knows? You can be, you musician. I'm not sure which camera to look at. Whoever's looking.
That one over there.
That one. You musician who's watching this and have gotten this far in the interview, you can be the next biggest thing Jewish music has ever seen, and way, way further. Look at Shulam Limmer, who got a record deal. You can, I'm also trying to go out into the bigger world. I'm doing ambient piano, deep sleep music, and those things get a lot of attraction. Sorry for my slurred American accent. It's a lot of attraction. And you know what? You can reach out to me. You can, it's not very hard to get my number. You can reach out to me and I can try help you, guide you in any way. I would love to.
Or they could comment on the video.
Comment on the video. You can reach out to my manager, the one and only Chesky Herzog, and we can be in touch. I'm happy to be in touch with you. It doesn't get me, nothing gets me more excited than to see new talent, to see, because I was there too just a couple of years ago, and,
wow.
and Hashem has incredible plans for you. You just have to really believe,
1,000%. Thank you so much, Shloimy,
Thank you for
everything. And thank you for coming on today. Thank you, everybody, for logging on. We want to take this opportunity, first and foremost, to thank our producer, Moshe Grunfeld, for always doing everything for us over here. Nothing would happen without him. Thank you, Shulam Badansky from Prom and Square over here for, again, giving us your space over here to do the interview. And most of all, thank you, all of you, for logging in to the Jewish Platform. Again,
See you next Thursday.
see you next Thursday. And of course, you can follow us on Instagram. You could DM us with questions and follow our status. Thank you so much for tuning in.